What up, everybody? I'm here with the one and only Mr. Rodolfo Carranza, a guy
Hello.
that walked the walk and talked the talk, a guy that was an absolute star at a door to door. He's been an absolute killer. He was my boss at a moment in time, so I know for a fact
Yes.
that it's a great leader. And yeah, he's here to drop some game on door to door sales, how to break through into that game, which can be hard to actually get into
Yeah,
door to
yeah.
door.
It's not a career or a job for everybody. It's definitely something very difficult, and a lot of people don't even know that people are still doing door to door, or even that door to door salespeople are still a thing that makes people a lot of money. Actually, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, like from all the things that you can think about on how to make money, the least sexy
yeah. No,
sounds like door to door.
not attractive at all,
But
for
you
sure.
can make a lot of money. I've seen people making over 30K a month. Like I've seen the checks. I've seen the people. That's crazy. So yeah, tell us
Yes.
more about it. So you've been we worked together.
Yeah.
You work in sales at telecommunications. How was that?
Yeah, so I mean, the way that I got into it, I didn't even expect to actually get into door-to-door sales. It was completely random. I was working for one of the big three telecom companies in Canada. I thought it was just going to be like mall phone booth kind of, just selling cell phones and cell phone plans kind of thing. But it ended up being an actual, customer sales to customer, door to door. And yeah, they told me the sales opportunity to make money where I could be making just one sale per day and I could be making up to $10,000 per month. So I thought it was a little bit of a pyramid scheme or something like that. Like it didn't sound really legit.
In a way, you could
Yeah, some
manipulate
companies
it.
they angle it a little bit more towards the recruiting side, and they give bonuses for that, and that becomes a little bit of a cycle. That's
That's crazy, bro. But like everybody wants to really know when I go out and
yeah.
talk to people, they be like, "Yo, how do you sell?"
Hmm.
Like straight up, like, and I think it's something you learn in door to door, just how to talk to people. So tell us a little bit how you sell and how
Yeah.
you talk to people in a way that you convince them of doing something.
So the first thing is going to be, you're always going to get the initial objection, no matter what industry you're in. People are just conditioned, maybe by the media or the way we were brought up, that the way we see salespeople or people selling us. We're conditioned to say no right away, right? No matter what is thrown at your face, unless it's something that you've specifically been looking at buying, like specifically you've been, okay, I want to buy this, and then you get a promotion thrown at you. Almost nobody is going to jump at a salesman, promoting something or giving them a pitch or selling them something, right? So the first thing is going to be expecting that first objection and knowing that it's coming always, right? So knowing what your most common objections are in your industry. For us in telecom, it was like, we're in a contract, or I don't have money, or I hate this company, or your service sucked last time, or there was many common objections that you have to figure out,
Yeah.
and you want to have a response automatically in your head to each one.
Yo, what was the craziest thing that happened to you, like while you were knocking doors?
Yeah, yeah. So like, speaking of objections, sometimes we would be knocking in a very lower class area, so we're selling home security, so we were in particularly more dangerous areas
Yeah.
around the GTA. And yeah, we've had a lot of people, lots of people just smoking weed, just they don't care, they're blowing smoke. Hey, you want to hit? And sometimes you want to say yes, but you got to stay professional, try to get the sales. But yeah, biggest thing, just know that objection's coming, know how to handle it, and be prepared for anything, especially
Okay,
if
so
you're in
let's
door to
role play.
door.
Like,
Okay, let's go.
okay. So knock the door and like, yeah, let's do the role play. Like, this is how you actually sell, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I haven't sold this product in a while, but I'll do my best to
Whatever, bro.
remember the
Just
pitch.
one product.
Okay,
Like yeah, just like the camera.
okay, okay. All right, I'll knock. I'll do the knock.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
No.
No,
No, for real?
no.
No,
What's
I'm not interested.
What's going on? No, no, you sound like you're in a bad mood. What's happening?
I'm in a bad mood.
Why you're in a bad mood, brother? Tell
What
me
are you
what's going
selling? What are you
on.
selling? What do you need? I'm not interested.
No, I know you might not be interested. I haven't even said anything, brother. It sounds like you might need something. The way that you're in a if you're in a bad mood, maybe I can help you out. What's going on?
Unless you have a good discount.
Is your internet acting up? I know the game is on right now. Are you
My
guys trying to?
internet is fucked up, bro. You guys from Telus? You guys from
Yeah,
Telus?
we
You
are from
guys,
Telus.
yeah, you guys have that technology, and it's being fucking breaking all the time, and I've been paying you a lot of
That's
money.
actually why I'm here, sir. Actually, the reason I know you're in. I know a lot of people in the area. Their internet has been working a little bit inefficiently, so they actually sent me out here and a couple other reps to just do a little check in. So I'm glad that you actually, you know, told me your problems first, and I'm able to help you out now. So. Uh, so then I would go from there, probably figure out what he's kind of working with, see
Like
if
straight up lie to the guy. I'm bringing.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's about storytelling, right? People they buy stories, right? They wanna be hooked into something. They wanna believe you, honestly, most of the time.
Really?
Most of the time. Our main pitch was based on a this our the door sign pitch, right? So we
Uh-huh.
would walk around with a door sign that would say, the name of the company and the home security, and we would tell them like, hey, we're coming around actually in the area. We're looking for a couple showcase houses that we're going to be portraying to the market. I'm sure Telus likes to do marketing before they roll out like a new product, and we recently took over ADT, right? So the way that we're doing it is instead of spending money on buses and billboards and ads, we're actually just going to give a few people in the neighborhood a discounted price on the home security so that everybody else can kind of see it and point, and then we're going to send another wave of reps in this area, and they're going to be able to point at your house and say that people have this system and be like, hey, Johnny over there, they actually got it installed. So it's kind of like more impersonal. And then we would say all of that to the client and tell them the whole story of why
Yeah.
we're there. Right.
Yeah.
And it seems so intricate and so detailed that it's like, oh, wow, that seems like a real marketing plan. When meanwhile, it's just a bunch of kids in a van that they just have lawn signs because they need to say all of that. They need the lawn sign to say it, and they just toss them in the neighborhood. And it's like, you can say whatever you want, really, but the more detailed and the more precise that your story is, and the more that you believe it, and the more that you can sell it, the more success you're gonna have always,
Yeah.
right? So it's about knowing your industry and knowing your customers and the people that are buying your product and your clients really well. And if you can, I don't want to say manipulate, but manipulate, right? Because that's what sales is. And it's manipulating people to get what they want. Deep down they want it anyways, or else they wouldn't be listening to you.
Wow, that's
They wouldn't, you know,
that's bars, bro. You're manipulating people to get them
what they want.
what they want.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they want this product. Like realistically, you can't manipulate someone to buy something that they don't want or that they would never use. You can
Uh-huh.
only convince someone to get something that they would probably get themselves at some point,
Yeah,
right?
but you have to convince them to get them from you.
Yeah, you have to, and you have
Yeah.
to make them believe that you're not convincing them. You have to make them think that they're the ones convincing themselves, right? So
Well.
you can actually do that by pre-qualifying. So let's say somebody, like I used to sell hot tubs for a little bit in a different life, not in a different life, but for a brief period of time. And one of the things we would do, because it's such a niche purchase that people make, you have to do a lot of pre-qualifying. So we almost disqualify our clients and make them believe that they need it and make them convince themselves. So we would tell them like, oh, like honestly, like if you don't really need it for, because they would be very therapeutic and they would have all sorts of back massage features and all this kind of stuff for pain and all that. So we would tell them, if it's not something that you're gonna use all the time, just get like a back massager for like your couch, whatever. It's gonna be way cheaper, and you
Uh-huh.
don't have to maintain a hot tub that way. Or we would tell them like, if they're looking for a bigger one, we'd be like, oh no, just the smaller one is just as good. It has all the same features, it has everything. It's like, do you really need the bigger one? They'd be like, yeah, no, I want the space. They'd be like, I need the space for my kids and for all this and for all that. And oh, okay, so you need the bigger one for your kids and everything. Okay, so yeah, let's go with the bigger one. I sold a lady a $67,000 hot tub. Okay, word to my mother, she paid after taxes and everything like $67,000 on a swim spa hot tub with a electric gazebo that went over it, right? And the way that she bought it was because I was telling her, like, you don't need the 18 foot, you just need the 13 foot. And she's like, no, well, I need space for me and my husband, you know. But it was only her and her husband. Realistically, they only needed the 13 foot. But because I told her that she only needed the people love to disagree with you and go for more, especially if they have the money. They love to one up you and spend it, and it's like, if you tell them that they need the bigger option, they'll prove you wrong by telling you they need the smaller option,
Uh-huh.
right? Because people is just that's just the way people are, right? I can't really explain that part. But if you tell them that they need the lesser option, they'll convince themselves, unless they're broke and or they just want to spend the least amount of money. That's a different kind of conversation and a different kind of client that you need to approach in a different way.
Yeah.
But a typical client that has the range to spend freely, right, is going to convince themselves that they need the best possible thing, especially if you're telling them that the middle one is just as good. They're going to think the top one is even better and amazing, right?
Yeah. So
So
people like to disagree with you, huh?
yeah, like most of your client, like you're gonna get the people that just buy right away and they just love to spend,
Wow.
but at the end of the day, it's a matter of reverse psychology, right?
Wow,
In a way.
that's wow, that's a hack because I was thinking like in my industry, like I do health and safety. You can
Okay.
tell them, you call them and be
Hmm.
like, "Hey, man, this is a really important inspection. Everybody's having to deal with this." But to be honest,
Yeah.
man, you might not even need it. Let me ask you some questions, and then you ask them questions that
Yeah.
pain points, like they need it, and they realize they need it.
Exactly.
They're gonna be like, "Oh fuck, no, I actually need it."
Yeah.
And
You
then you'd
can
be
tell
like, "No,
them.
no, no, we're not sure we can do it for you." And they're like, "No, no, please do it."
Yeah, exactly, exactly. You'd be like, you can tell them, like, the scheduling actually takes so long, anyways. Most people don't even have any problems, anyways. Like, and then you want to make them curious. Maybe you want to kind of throw some hints in there so that they'll ask you what could go wrong if you don't get that inspection. Like, I actually worked in the generator industry as well, where it was a similar kind of thing. Things could get red tagged, they would have to get inspected. If they didn't get inspected, backup generators for buildings, they would go, 2-3 million dollars in debt on a building because the generator would go, they would get fined, and then it would be like a whole cycle of just getting fined and not having the appropriate, if there's like a power outage and there's no backup
Yeah.
generator.
So if I was a guy that just started as a sales guy, like
Hmm.
I know zero word and I suck and I barely speak English,
Yeah.
what what would you recommend me to do?
The first thing I would do is learn your client base and learn the most common objections. Even if you don't know sales, if you can just know the most common objections and how to handle them, you don't need to talk in a certain manner. You don't need to have a crazy amount of voice. You need to speak clearly and people need to be able to understand you. That's the bare minimum for sure. Even if you have a little bit of an accent, as long as people can understand you and you can speak clearly. I've sold to somebody who's deaf. I've sold to somebody who's blind, and I'm excited to keep that list going. I'm excited to sell to somebody that is deaf and blind. Maybe.
Well, that might be not too ethical, but
Yeah.
so like tell me that, like how happened, like
How did that happen?
yeah.
Okay, so so it was in the same company. We were door to door, and I'll go through both, right? So the deaf lady, um, she actually, I was actually gonna move on from that door when I saw that she was deaf. So I knocked on her door. She came out and she just kind of like mouthed to me like that she was deaf. She just kind of went like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." And I was about to go, but she pointed at my vest and she was like, "Oh," like she kind of went like that, and then I was like, "Oh, an interested client," right? So I we had a text message that we would send to clients after we would talk to them and they'd be interested.
And you showed her the text message.
I showed her the text message exactly. So she just took the phone from me. She was reading it, and she seemed kind of interested, and she invited me in, and then she called her husband, and her husband was also deaf. So it was actually the first sale I ever did in complete silence. So I actually didn't say a single word the whole sale. And we were just going back and forth on my phone on the notes app. Any questions they had, they were asking me, they were typing them out to me, and we were just typing. It was actually not as hard as people, it's a bigger flex to say it than it actually was. It was actually a little bit easier because
they wanted the product.
yeah, they wanted it, and it made sense for them because they would get alerts to their phone when people are at the door, because they have the disability. So like I said,
that would be crazy if you could like know which houses are like deaf people, and then you can target them. Because like you can actually help them. They actually had the problem with the camera. They probably felt the issue. They'll be like a good customer.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's a very competitive client base that is being targeted for sure by the home automation people. Yeah, no, and the blind guy, I think, yeah, it was him. I didn't even know he was blind actually when I first, because I spoke to him and his wife at the door, and his wife did most of the talking, but then she referred me to call him and speak with him mostly after. And that guy, he loved to talk, and he talked to me for hours and hours. I did maybe 2-3 hours of podcast to get that sale, and we talked about kings and queens of England and monarchs, and he had
Oh
a
shit!
whole bunch of ancient historical interests.
To
But
be honest, I don't know too much about that. Do you know a lot about that?
no, to be honest, I did a lot. I did a lot of learning. I learned a lot about medieval and 1800s time period England.
Damn. So let's talk about money. Like, how much
Yeah.
was the most amount you made in a month?
So the most amount I made at Go Sales, my previous job was about 19,000 in 1 month.
Shut up, bro.
So that was
Shut up.
and that was doing door to door, just talking to people.
20,000 in a month.
Yeah, yeah. I was like 22 at that time. So
What happened with the money?
that money, you know what? It was near Christmas time, so I bought my mom and all my family like a bunch of jewelry and stuff for Christmas. I put the rest into savings and all that.
Savings, bro. Uh, just alcohol.
Yes,
Savings.
yeah. When you're 22, it's those are your savings.
Some
But
drinks, some sin packs.
yeah,
There was no sins back in the day. Yeah?
Zins. Yeah, no. Do they still have those in Canada?
Sins? I mean, I heard they discontinue it, but I keep seeing them.
Yeah, I think people order them probably
I think
somehow.
people really want them. Wow.
Yeah. Are
Well,
you?
that's great branding.
You're into the nicotine stuff, right? You
Yeah,
like
but
that?
I think it's bad for you either way. I think it's less bad than most things,
I
but
mean, it's not as bad as smoking or vaping.
or vaping.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I don't know. I
yeah,
don't think it's like 100% without its risks.
yeah.
Like
No,
YOLO, bro. We do door to door.
you know what? I actually read something that nicotine and caffeine are the best drugs for you, kind of, because
I heard. I heard that from Andrew Tate. He says that, right?
I don't know if that was where I heard it from. I think I read there was a study done where like nicotine will actually increase your brain function. So
Well,
you actually
I heard that. I heard that as well. Actually, it's pretty well known.
yeah
Nicotine does good, but it really depends. If you smoke it, it's really bad. But the way you
yeah
administer that,
yeah no, it's bad for your lungs for sure. It's definitely not.
man. And which was your worst month?
My worst month, probably the first few months that I started. I actually had a great start, like very beginning, like the first 3 days I had like 5 sales, and they gave me AirPods. I was like the superstar, but then I actually didn't have a sale for maybe about a month.
Month.
Right?
So you made no money in a month.
No money, no money. At 100% commission roll, I made no money that month. I did win a gift card for some like $200.
Wow.
So yeah, I made $200. That's what I was eating. I was eating out with. It was like $10 meals. We would go out. I would still be able to eat. I think some people would share their gift card meals with me as
Shit, for
well.
real, you were
And
broke like that.
bro, we were broke. Like when I first started at that job, I was broke, fresh off COVID. Like not doing much, like just yeah, like the jobs. There was barely any jobs around, and that's the way it was back then. So yeah, we had to hustle, and thankfully we did. You know, I got promoted pretty quick at that company within about 6 months. So I grinded it out, and the money was pretty good. Um, you know, while I had my own team, and I was, you know, making commission off of them and making my own commission, and
Wow.
you know, running meetings, motivating people, and just
So explain that. So it's actually a pyramid scheme. Like
yeah, like, you know, in a way it was, in a way it wasn't, you know, like
no, it was not. It was not. It was not. It was really not. Like
like it's not, it wasn't actually a pyramid scheme, but you know, people could describe it in different ways. Perspective is, you know,
but basically,
subjective.
you had the top guy,
Yeah,
then you were like in the middle,
yeah,
and then there were people down,
yeah.
and each
Hmm.
level made money from the level below.
Exactly, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you were making money
so
out of
in
my
a
sales.
way, yes. Thank you, thank you.
So it's a so it looks like this.
Yeah, yeah. It's a pyramid
People make money from
from the
below.
top, and it trickles down.
No, but I mean, like, in a way, that's sales, right? Like,
But you know what? There was people, and you know, this is how you can counter that argument. There was people at the bottom making more money than some people at the top. It was possible. It was possible.
absolutely.
You were not, you know, immune to making less than somebody at the bottom if you didn't work hard enough, right? So, that was part of the reason work culture was so big at that place, and it's so big in these places where, you know, it's a little bit dangerous even because they start to make you think that you're a family and that they care about you, and that it's all like that's the main purpose,
One thing
right?
comes to the other, and then boom, you're a Scientologist.
Exactly, right. So, you know, you know, no, no, if you know, you know.
That's crazy, man.
But
That's
yeah,
crazy. I mean, there's a lot of value, I guess, in having all your employees together working in the same place.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, the corporate world definitely has its challenges, as
People do slack off at home. Like,
they
you know,
do.
like, you know, like since the COVID thing, I don't agree with that either. But I do think there maybe should be more of a balance. You know, 8 hours in an office, it feels almost like, feels almost unethical. Like maybe it's too long. You know, 8 hours of your whole day.
I think it has to do with results at the end of the day. But the thing is, like,
It's
most
like,
people don't perform a task that is directly related to money.
it's just odd. It's kind of weird that there's so many different jobs, right? So
Uh-huh.
many different kinds of industries, so many different types. And it's like, yes, job hours do, you know, they are different. There's like the part times that only work 4 hours and then 8 hours and 12 hours. But it's like, how come it's so like packed into boxes? Like how long you need to work at your job, or like what exactly you need to do,
Oh,
you know? Like it's like you would think that maybe there would be different needs or different hourly rates and different things. Like
yeah.
everything has been kind of
But it's hard, like,
centralized
as a business owner, it's hard just to be
to
like,
work all that out, I guess.
yeah, dealing
Yeah.
with all the snowflakes
You'd
that don't want
rather,
to work the 8 hour. But
yeah,
I think, honestly, even in sales, I believe in systems.
right.
Like, if you follow good systems, Alex Hormozzi says the pitch is it's king. Pitch is king because it's straight up a system
Hmm.
of words that have been tested, that if you say it enough
Yeah,
times, like,
yeah.
people are going to react this way, and then there's different patterns, and then objection handling, you have a script for that, and then it's just a system. But I see a lot of places they go and be hoppe brusky,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wing it.
I agree. I agree. You should have a system and a structure for your workplace. I just mean like, you know, the 8 hour or 12 hour shifts
Yeah.
are not maybe built for, sure. I don't think humans are meant to work or
Nah,
be,
brusky, I'm all about 8 hours. No, I'm all about 16 hours. 16 hours, a bunch of sins, a lot
I
of
mean,
coffee, and then just, like, yeah, like a man, bro. Because I listen to Alex Hormozzi, and
that's the way to succeed. Like that is the path to success for sure.
damn. But it's what is
To
success, bro? At the end of the day, what
it's
would be success to you?
like, to me it's defined differently for everybody, right? Everybody has their own definition of success. Like you cannot define, so like, you know, for the pregnant woman, or sorry, for the infertile woman, success for her would be to be pregnant, right?
Uh-huh.
And for somebody that has no money, success for them would be to be rich. Or for somebody that has no girlfriend, for
Yeah.
success for them would be to find a wife.
So
But
success is something you don't have by
it
definition.
by definition, for some people, it is success would be, I guess, filling a void, right? That they might be
Success
missing
is
in their life.
oh shit, bro. Like success
Yeah.
is filling a void they're missing in their life. So that's tricky. So are you
It doesn't
ever
necessarily have to be that, right? Like you could have everything filled in your life and still feel unfulfilled, right? You might not have voids. You might have all your family alive. You might have a wife, kids, every money, success, everything, and still feel like you want to do something more. So I guess in a way, success is something that you chase, right?
that you chase? So it's the journey.
So you can never really have success,
I think success is when you start like pursuing that what you want.
but that's your definition.
Okay, yeah. Well, I guess yeah. Everything is relative.
Everything is going to be subjective when
So
you come
what
to
was
that.
your most successful month as a salesperson?
Yeah, like I said, like that 19K month, or when I sold that
Sixty-seven
$67,000.
thousand. That was the biggest deal you closed.
That was the biggest single monetary deal that I've closed. Yeah, 67K to one person.
I also listen a lot of stories of like dark stories outside of the door to door. A lot of
Hmm.
people do like what like weird shit, like in the doors. Like I don't know if I would
Oh yeah,
if I would buy things from
yeah,
door to door after I've been working with that.
yeah, yeah. I actually I've had some interesting experiences. Yeah, no, definitely. Like people, they come out in their underwear, with their hand in their pocket, you know,
Oh shit, bro!
kind of thing. And then you could hear noises coming from that area, so you kind of, you got to back away. And yeah, no, there's it's it's not an ideal job where you'll see normal things. You'll be entertained. You're not
Okay,
going to see the same kind of people every day, but it's rewarding. It's definitely rewarding. You can learn a lot about yourself, and you'll learn a lot about just like people, just as a whole. You'll see so many kinds of people, and you'll learn that a lot of the times, you know, some people get influenced by what people say back to them when they're at the doors, but you'll realize that it's just everybody's living crazy lives within all these houses. When you're in a neighborhood, you can just imagine like
oh
what's going
shit,
on in every household.
damn,
Everybody's living crazy lives. Very few people are living like normal, calm, you know,
really.
normal lives.
So,
Yeah.
let me ask you something about the.
At least where I was working.
So I mean,
Those,
yeah, I bet,
it
I
was
bet.
basically the projects. So maybe,
So objection handling,
yeah,
like do you have
yeah.
a structure for objection handling?
Just uh, reduce, recycle. No, what was the agree, acknowledge, transition, right?
Agree, acknowledge, transition.
Yeah. So you agree with their objection.
Uh-huh.
You acknowledge that whatever they're saying is valid.
Uh-huh.
So yes, sir, I know you're in a contract, 100%.
Okay, let's try it out. Let's try it out. I think that
Yeah.
could be funny.
Okay.
So
So
the
give me like a random. Don't make it about
no,
like
let's say
just say some. Give me just a random objection like day to day, and I'll just try to
okay,
showcase it.
okay, yeah, bro.
Yeah,
I don't wanna go to the party.
bro. I know you don't want to go to the party, so that's agree,
Uh-huh.
right? Acknowledge. I know you're probably tired from work and doing all those things that
Yeah.
you do, making podcasts and sales videos and things.
Yeah.
So that's acknowledge,
Uh-huh.
right? And then transition would be, but do you know how many women are going to be at the party? And we won't talk about Carlos's girlfriend off screen, but or pizza. There's gonna be
No,
so
girls,
much.
girls, girls. I wouldn't go for pizza.
Yeah, so fair. So you talk about what the amenities are gonna be at the party,
Uh-huh.
and you transition into talking about that, and then now we're transitioned again, and then now we're debating again. We're back
Okay,
into the
let's do it. Let's
pitch.
do it. Try it out. Try it
Okay,
out. Okay, so I don't want to go to the party.
Yeah, bro. I know you don't want to go to the party. I can tell by the way you are. I can see that you're very tired. But don't worry, bro. There's gonna be so many girls there. Like we're gonna be dancing and having you. You're gonna go viral after.
Nah, broski, I'm gonna go viral.
You're gonna go viral, bro,
Nah,
because of all
broski,
the
but
dancing.
no, in front of the girls, no, I don't feel.
Don't worry, bro. Don't worry. You're gonna have a sick outfit. Like I know you think that it's gonna be embarrassing, but because I'm gonna be there with you, we're gonna have a great time. So you're just kind of cycling back. You recycling.
Okay, just keep it
So
going, bro. Let's
yeah,
keep it going for the clips.
yeah, yeah.
So okay, let's try to do another, brother. I don't really feel comfortable drinking anymore.
Yo, I. So you're making me a bad influence. You're gonna teach people how to be a bad influence.
Well, this is the game, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, man. No, listen, man. I know you don't feel like drinking anymore. If I was a healthy human, I would probably not want to continue drinking as well. But because we're both degenerates, and because you forgot that we're degenerates, maybe I'll try to remind you right now again. And we need to be drunk to be able to speak to women. Because didn't you forget? You can't speak to women unless you're drunk,
No, I
right?
can, I can, I can definitely can.
So,
Um,
so yeah, that
Broski,
is agree
you know what would
acknowledge
be
transition.
like? Okay, and let's hit me with social proof.
Social proof.
So,
Okay.
so yeah, Broski,
So
I don't want to drink anymore.
listen, man, I know you don't want to drink anymore. Okay. I know you're trying to work on your health benefits, and that's valid. Okay. I think that's something great that you're doing. But look at Timmy. He didn't used to drink, and now he's drinking, and look how many bitches he has. Okay. And that's what you would define as success. Okay. So let's get you drunk. Okay. Where's the twisted teas?
No, no, the show. That's funny, man. Yeah, you can actually use it for anything, right?
Yeah. Like in life, you know, you can either be sold, sell, or be sold.
Oh, Sailor Bisol, like Mr. Uncle G, bro. I think that guy's a G, Uncle G. Actually, I learned a lot from that guy. What do you think about like gurus, sales gurus?
I think a lot of them are full of it. But a lot of them know what they're talking about because you have to know what you're talking about. But at the end of the day, it's all like majority of them, if they're selling you a course, they're just preying on people that can't sell and that want to be like them and think that maybe buying that course is going to be their stepping stone to that, right? I think there is good ones, and I think there probably is courses worth buying, and that's the problem. It's hard to differentiate between what
Mm,
is going to be valuable knowledge and content, or somebody that's maybe ripping somebody else off for their knowledge and content that maybe
mm,
doesn't even know what they're talking about. Maybe you're just paying them for access that's available free somewhere else on YouTube or somewhere else on the internet or in a book or
yeah,
like
but the,
there's so many different outlets, right? And
yeah. By
that
the way, buy my course. I have here in Super Prof. I give lessons, sales lessons. No, as a matter of fact, bro. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna
okay,
show you the profile.
right.
Super Prof, $20. I just do it because of the fun of it. I give it a little value, so people give it value as well. But if you are an entrepreneur and you're wondering how to close sales, how to actually move the needle, it could be B2B, it could be B2C. If you're struggling or if you want to get to the next level, absolutely just go to my Super Prof. By the way, straight up, bro. Like actually, I went to a networking event.
Yeah,
Do you go
no,
to networking events?
no, actually, I've been out of the game for a little bit, but I have gone to a few in the past, and I have talked to some business owners and things like that. But it's good. It's good to network, and at the end of the day, the people that you know is going to be your biggest stepping stone. More so than even some degrees, more so than experience or what jobs industry you're in, or how old you are. It's more about who you know,
What was
right?
the oldest guy you saw in door to door?
Working with us,
Yeah,
the oldest, I think. Do we ever have an actual old guy?
I remember some of the Telus team, bro. Like
I
all
I don't
like
I don't know
late
if we had an
thirties, late thirties.
yeah, maybe we did have that one guy that worked with us. He was in his 40s. He had a family.
Yeah, and he was raising a whole ass family.
Yeah, yeah, and he was in his 40s working door to door. So, respect to him. He hustled and
And
he,
he actually made bank, huh?
he was good, and
Yeah.
he actually broke some record, and they started going nuts. So he got like that newborn baby motivation type.
Well, that's crazy because I
So
bet a lot of people make $100,000 and they feel like they made a lot, and maybe in different type of roles. But this homie knocking doors, he probably make like more than 200K a year.
that 1 year, he definitely broke around 200. Yeah,
Oh,
and I
200.
think he did it. I think he did it under 12 months. I think he did it under 12 months. I think he did it in about 9 months.
And bonuses and gift cards,
Bonuses, like you know,
trips, the bragging rights, everybody
trips,
clapping your name.
phones, awards, records. Like he did it all. And it's an industry where you think like in today's standards, he was like a star. It was a superstar. He was the rock star
I
of that
mean,
of that location,
yeah,
right? Of that branch. Those two guys at
yeah.
that branch were the best ones.
I feel like that everywhere I go.
And that's amazing. I'm glad to hear that. That's the confidence you should have. You should exude that confidence.
You know what I'm gonna say about Telus? Shout out to Telus, bro. Telus has one of the best sales systems and training that I've like actually experienced in all my career. I went to a
Yeah.
lot of different places, and I think it was Telus itself because every time I saw people selling in Telus, they had a system to the T and they trained that thing to the T. And actually, yeah, shout out to them. I owe a lot about to I think Telus at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, TELUS and honestly, the telecom companies, they know their game. They know their stuff, and because they have to, right? They
Because nobody would buy it.
especially in
Yeah.
Canada, we only have the big three,
Yeah.
so it's not like there's a whole ton of competition, and they've really centered in on how to prey on their clients, which is the people of Ontario
Yeah.
and or Canada. Actually,
Yeah,
I
and
get,
give
I
a good
get.
service. Sometimes they go to good service.
They give
Sometimes,
good service. Things have
yeah.
gotten better. They're getting they're getting better. They're not great, but they're getting better, and but they definitely do know how to sell. So if you're working for one of those companies, or if you are looking to make money, actually, I don't know how the industries are nowadays, but
But if you really like want to learn how to sell, like if you feel you're not doing well, you can go to Telus. They hire anybody.
there's
Anybody.
there's definitely a lot of vendors, especially where we're around. Yes, there's vendors for
And you actually get free training. And if you do well, you even put money in your pocket. If you have time to just
time to waste.
time to waste or not. I mean, it could be a career, but honestly, to train, like
Yeah,
even better than going
to
to
learn.
college. Straight up, better than going to college. If you did door to door since you're 19 to 21, fuck, bro, you're gonna eat the word.
You're gonna learn how to speak to people and how to deal with objections and how to sell. I wouldn't have been able to sell hot tubs and generators and a bunch of different things if I wasn't working or didn't get that base from doing door to door. So it allowed me to branch into other industries and expand. So yeah, if you want to learn, that's I would say yeah, number one probably is face to face, door to door. It's scary, but you know, especially if you're a young guy or female, you will have good success
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
heard I heard a lady from LinkedIn. Shout out to my LinkedIn down below as well. I'm a LinkedIn influencer. I don't mean to make you nervous, but um, but yeah, lady from LinkedIn. She says like hot girls sell better, but the experience is different. But they
Yeah,
sell even more. Like, and Alex Hormozy also heard him saying that hot girls were the best sales. Uh,
yeah, yeah. I mean, they're the most influential people on the planet. So shout out to hot girls.